Welcome to In the Moment with Kortia, where we inform, inspire, and motivate you to be a positive agent of change. And here we are on this halfway there Wednesday. I know we've got drive, we've got energy. I'll tell you we've got what it takes to actually go forward, to actually get ourselves up this morning and go and receive all that God has in store for us. And I just wanted to give a brief announcement to any of you that are traveling along Masonic, along the Cabrini Hospital vicinity, to please be careful. You may need to alternate your routes. There was a structural fire of a business in the area over there. It's pretty much well blocked off by police, numerous fire trucks. News crews are out there, ambulances are out there. It's just that right now, don't go along the area around the Cabrini Hospital because you will need to take an alternate route. And again, it was a structural fire that's on the other side of the road, not on the same side as the hospital.
It's right across from the ball field.
Right across from the ball field, exactly. I think it was an old, used to be used car building, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely make sure you plan if that's your usual route, to take an alternate route, just because we had to take our alternate route this morning before coming into the studio. So now that you have the announcement on what's going on, just to let you know, I want to just give a shout out to, all of Central Louisiana. But first and foremost, before I do that, you heard the magnificent, the dynamic, the milk, that's with the, how can I say, the honey and everything in my cream, my wife, my blessing. Hey, that's my wife, Jennifer Kuzan.
Good morning, everybody.
Amen, amen, amen. Good morning, Central Louisiana, Natchitoches, Gina, Alexandra on 88.1 FM, Monroe, West Monroe on 98.9 FM, Shreveport, Greenwood on 92.5 FM, St. Joseph, Natchez, Mississippi on 99.3 FM, and Lake Charles on 100.1 FM. On this halfway there Wednesday, the thing that's really going to be sticking out today is that, through the course of everything we have been speaking on since the inception of the show, okay, since we first started broadcasting to you, the listeners out there, to you, our family, that, it's all about just really getting you to look on the inside and really recognize what God has placed there, okay? And for you to actually start utilizing those things to be what? That positive agent of change, wherever God has you at, okay? Because we're not going to put any kind of limitations on God. But, today we want to talk about and, point out on, are you actually utilizing your most valuable resource? You might say, well, what is my most valuable resource? Oh, it's prayer. Yeah, definitely you got to have prayer. Oh, it's a good mindset. Definitely you've got to have a good mindset. But what is that most valuable resource that's on the inside of you that God has given you? Is what? Your gift. Your gift, your gift, your gift. Scripture even lets us know that our gifts will make room for us, okay? Our gifting is what opens so many different doors in our lives. But the thing about it is that we tend to, as people, overlook our gifts because, we do them so well, like with the least amount of effort, to where it just seems like they're really, insignificant. Like it's just something, I just do this like all the time. Everyone does this. But there are gifts that we have on the inside of us that we may do that little bit better, as you want to say, opposed to anyone else. Just like my wife and, my oldest daughter, they have this whole organizational thing. Putting stuff here, color coordinating there, pins laid this way, stuff cornered like that. It gets a little A-type when they do their organization
really?
Sometimes. Oh, yes.
Really? A-type?
Oh, yes, because my idea of organization is having everything in its place, nice and neat.
In a pile.
Not in a pile.
In a pile.
It's not in a pile. It's not in a pile.
Okay, so let's look at my side of the desk and your side of the desk.
Okay.
And you have old lunch containers that you haven't picked up. Your clothes are sprayed out across a chair. No, you can't even say that.
David, she must be talking to you.
Oh.
You know, that's not my desk. Hey, my desk is nice. It's level. Look, I've got my binder on one side.
We're going to have to post pictures.
Look, I'm here to tell you. Look, it's organization at its finest going on. Let me tell you, organization at its finest.
Organizational chaos? Is that what you were talking about?
No. Look, stop talking about David like that. So, look.
David's going to get you.
But look.
He knows who you are.
Look, but what needs to really happen is, you need to realize that with your gifting, okay, other people can actually benefit from your gift. Something that you can just do, that you can just flow in and you can just do it so effortlessly, okay? Your gift actually benefits other people when you actually flow into it. I mean, it actually helps. Well, think about this. You can actually use your gift to actually start helping someone, and it really starts to bring their gifting out, okay? And it's basically, I think I did it off, Mike last time, but I used an example as far as like with my brother-in-law, being able to talk to people in certain ways and identifying things on the inside of people. God allowed me to see that that's a gifting I've had. It's something I've had ever since I was a child because, it was one of the things that was really, how can I say, hard for me to relate to. It's funny if you can actually visualize this, okay? Imagine a kid that's about, I don't know, a good age. Let's say 11 years of age, all right, just like Paul, 11 years of age. But then you've got people in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, I mean all the way up. And they ask you questions, but you always have a very mature answer for them. And it's always an answer that helps them to do better in life or go to the next level. And, God actually brought that back to my remembrance, just on day before yesterday. And, just I was using the example of like one of my brother-in-laws that how, he had all of these things laid out as far as like books, wanted to do this. He wanted to share his story and, ended up being by his home. And we had a conversation. And then, he was just like, man, the stuff that came out of your mouth, I mean, I'm just so motivated. I know what I need to do. I'm ready to go. And I'm thinking to myself, I have no idea what you're talking about because I'm just talking to you. I'm just letting it flow, just letting it come out of my mouth.
So basically it's kind of like what me and the kids do to you. And what was that?
See, look, the reason it's so funny, my family always talks about when it comes to a teaching moment for someone, they always say, you're just like Jesus. You're always talking in parables and stuff. You're talking in parables. And I'm like, look, it's something that's planting a seed for that particular moment. Then all of a sudden you're going to be like in your bed and you're going to pop up. Aha.
But that moment never comes for some reason.
Look, it's always there. Look, it's a matter of how you choose to cultivate the things that are actually, going on. And look, definitely, what would it be like if you actually didn't share your gifting, okay? If you didn't allow your gifting to benefit someone or benefit wherever you are. I mean, can you imagine the kind of gloom and how people may have just pretty much, missed the boat? Did you ever realize that because of the gifting that's in your life, God may have you as that, as we said before in the previous broadcast, you might actually be that checkpoint in someone's life?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just because when God's actually taking them along their process, along their purpose, along their path, and then all of a sudden you have that next thing in your spirit or that should come out of your mouth that's going to basically touch and agree with what God said or give them the next piece of the puzzle, whatever it may be. But, a lot of us really miss that as like how we think that we are the destination for a lot of people when we're just like a part of the process in their journey, okay? So making sure that we can help other people and benefit them by sharing our gifts. And then, a lot, like I said, lives will be changed because of the talents and things that we have. I mean, really, we have just seen other individuals and, some of the kids, before we moved, that we had opportunity to sow into their lives that, they've told you, thank you for, showing us love and doing all of these different things. And just because they never had stuff like that. I mean, and when Mel was in here yesterday, he was sharing stories about different things that happened and with different kids and how they didn't think they can achieve different things. I sat down with individuals yesterday and kids that never achieved anything in their lives. I want to show you the impact of a parent, okay? Kids that may have never achieved anything in their life, but they finally achieved something. They've achieved something. They've gotten, maybe it was a GED, whatever it is. But then to have, your parent to, when you get in a parking lot, still basically call you like dirt or filth or whatever it is, and say that this was just something out of the ordinary. This will never happen again. This was a fluke. It was a fluke. But you know exactly how some people right now are really not utilizing their gifts.
A lot of them don't know what their gifts are.
True.
Or how to utilize.
True.
They may know they have a gift, but not know what to do with it.
That's very, very true. And, you know, like I said, I have an actual brother. You know, I want to touch on this right before going to break. I have an actual brother. And this guy, okay.
He's an actual brother?
Actual brother.
Actual
brother. I mean,
really?
like the blood type. Not just the blood and the spirit, the blood type. I mean, this is overall brother and stuff right here. I mean, yeah.
So it's a real brother.
Yeah. I can go ahead and handle up on him if I need to, but hey, that's a whole nother thing. But look. Even this guy knows how to cut grass so good. I've never seen someone that can actually take a weed eater and cut a full yard, just like if it was a lawnmower, edge it, and do all of these different things. But kind of asked him, well, why do you take so much time? He's like, I don't know. I just really love to cut grass. But he didn't really see and how that was a gifting to him. And I think I shared before, like a missed opportunity he had. But the thing is, a lot of things that we see as just natural that we like to do may be the gifts that God wants us to really prosper with in life. So look. When we actually come back from break, we're going to get right back into finding out what your most valuable resource is, your gift, but stay in your moment. Welcome back to In the Moment with Kortia Kuzan on this Halfway There Wednesday. Family, call in with your questions or comments to the radio station at 318-484-2500 or toll free at 877-464-2500. And we're talking about utilizing, or should I say, are you utilizing your most valuable resource? And what is that resource? Your gift. And, you know, before we went into the break, we were talking about how our gifts can actually change the lives of, you know, different individuals around us, workplace, community, you know, wherever God has us planted. But, you know, just like my wife actually said, that some people really don't know what their gift is. And the thing that actually stuck out, I gave a little story, a quick little snippet of, you know, my brother. Let me see. How did I say it? My actual brother.
Your actual brother.
My actual brother.
And
okay.
how many actual brothers do you have?
I have a few actual brothers, you know. Yeah.
So then out of the actual brother and the few brothers, how many are actual brothers? Because evidently the way you said it, there's only one actual brother.
Well, look. This particular actual brother that I'm talking about, I think he's, 13 years younger than I am, I believe.
That makes you how old?
You need to be quiet over there. I told you I get better with age up in here. That's one of my giftings. So, look, but the thing is that just like she said, a lot of people truly don't realize what gifts they have because why? We just think that a lot of times that our gifts that we do have really don't matter. And then, like I used him as an example with grass cutting. Everyone out there that chooses to, okay, it's not difficult for anyone to get out there, you know, when they're old enough or big enough to turn on a lawnmower and push a lawnmower. Hey, you're cutting grass.
It is for me.
Yeah, my wife does not cut grass, okay? And
You do not want me to turn on the lawnmower and push the lawnmower through the yard.
Yes, indeed. But, you know, for everyone that can say they can cut grass, but not everyone can say they have, like, a special knack for grass. I mean, because in talking with him that time to where you could – now, cutting grass, I'm just probably like the average person out there. Cut the grass, make sure it's all down, pick up the sticks and whatnot, and, you know, that's cutting grass, okay? Now, he could actually start cutting grass, and he starts talking about angles, the height, how it needs to be from the curb and everything, border, boundaries, and all this stuff. And, you know, I can look at him like, man, it's like some of you are probably thinking, it's just cutting grass.
So it's like that A-type for organization.
Yeah, well, you know, see, that's why y'all get along so well.
Oh,
you know?
Is that the case?
The A-types in the house. Okay. But, you know, it's like I said, it's like that gifting that we have, a lot of us overlook. And, like, there's so many individuals out there, right? There's so many stories that are out there of people that have done different things in life just because they were skilled and gifted at it, okay?
You know, that's a good thought. I'm sorry. Can I interrupt
Go
you
ahead.
for a second? I mean, I know, you know.
Oh, you're going to?
You're talking.
Come on.
But that's a good way to figure out what, you know, one way, obviously, just one way of trying to figure out what your gift or talent is. If you're in that situation where you're trying to figure out what gifts and talents you have, what things are you A-type?
Right. That's actually
What things are you more detail oriented on that you can pick out? No, this is the wrong way, and if it's like me, what aggravates you and other people when they do something that you do one way, and they do another. And I say aggravate, I don't mean it in a negative way, but you can pick out the things that you would do differently.
Right.
What causes you to have that A-type trait in your gift or talent or in in your life? What is it that you do that with?
And, and in that, it's not that you're trying to go around and, okay, you see a better way to do something and you just have to correct, okay? That could be really annoying. People could get frustrated at you and it can cause all kinds of issues. But what I'm talking about is that when you have a gifting and you could actually improve on something and people actually say, well, I've never seen it that way. I've used the example of a friend of ours that, back in the Slidell area. And I'm talking about this girl can lay out full-blown, like, wedding cakes and everything else out of a regular oven. I'm not talking about...
They're awesome.
I'm not talking about a one-tier sheet cake. I'm talking about something that's like 5, 6, and 7 tiers high, okay? But because she really doesn't... And people tell her all the time, not only cakes, she can cook really well. She has all of these recipes. And, she has like she has like a Filipino background and she married one of my friends, so now from his mom, she got all of the black cooking background. She's got Filipino and Creole type background cooking and she didn't put all of this stuff together. And this girl can burn. Okay. She can throw down in the kitchen. But every time she's posting stuff on Facebook, right? And every time I'm sending in a comment, the day is coming when I'm going to tap you on your shoulder and we're going to open that restaurant. And her response was, I hear that all the time from people. And literally, it can be right in your face. God can be sending people right to you daily, telling you what your gifting is.
Well, think about how many millionaire bakers are sitting in their house.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's think about your aunt who likes to make pecan candy.
Oh, man, don't even get me started.
Can make it good. Good. See, melt in your mouth good.
See, and some of you right now, you may not know what pecan candy is. You may know what pralines are. Okay, so pralines are that like little flat sheep type, sweet goodness with the pecans in it. That's a praline. Now, pecan candy is this. It's when you pick it up, and it's like in our household, we call them bricks, okay? It's literally if you're cutting a piece of cake, and you know how you cut out a square chunk of cake? That's how she does her candy, pecan candy.
It makes you want to forget that you're on keto and that you're on Weedo.
Oh, man, I tell you what, that pecan candy started fights on the holidays. It's that good. But, she doesn't see that as a gift that she has. It's just something that she does, something that helps her unwind or whatever, just that she likes to do around the holidays every so often. But the thing is, if she actually saw that could be something to be utilized to, stop her from having, I'm just going to say, these jobs that don't benefit, her talents and her skills, that, it's just something that, she can use to just really jump out there and really catapult different phases of her life. And it kind of leads me into like really the next point. All right. Your gift will, it'll help you make money. I mean, it's not by chance that God said that our gifts will make room for us, okay? And the thing about that is that a lot of people in the body of Christ, and a lot of people in general, and I'm going to just say it's focused on the body of Christ, a lot of us right now, we do things on a regular basis so often for people as a freebie, and it's flowing in our gifting to where it comes up to you and someone says, hey, you need to be charging for that. The first thing I've heard for 100 out of 100% of the people, oh, no, brother, I can't charge for that. That's my giving back to God. But yet I keep hearing people talking about, well, I'm struggling financially. I need help with this or help with that. And then I go right back to the gifting. And then they start saying, well, wouldn't it be bad if I actually charge for something that I do for free? Why is God going to give you something that can impact more than just a few individuals if he didn't actually expect you to actually be able to prosper from it? Yes, you can sow, you can give it freely to whoever you want to, but why not make income? And I'm not just talking about a nickel and dime income. I'm talking about an income that can really impact and change not only the community, but like the world as a whole, okay? Because we really just need to get out of this superficial thing about trying to condense what our gifting really is. I mean, because I'm telling you now, if you didn't know, that was like a trick of the enemy, because he's making you think less of yourself, because really, if you think that poorly of your gifting, it kind of is a reflection of the way you think of yourself. And that's not a true representation of who God is on the inside of you. So we need to really take this gifting that we have and actually ask. I mean, you know, a lot of people look at me strange. They say, well, how do I use my gifting? I say, well, did you ask God exactly how you should use your gifting? But look, we're going to jump right back into this point when we come back from break. But look, God's keeping you in your moment right now. And he's really flipped the light switch in some of you. So look, stay tuned. We'll be right back to you as you're in your moment. Welcome back to In the Moment with Kortia Kuzan on this halfway there Wednesday. Hey, we're talking about all the utilizing your most valuable resource, and that is what? Your gift. And yet again, we have the beautiful Jennifer Kuzan on the other microphone in the house with us this morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
President of the BTS Club and the A-Type Society.
Yes, that's me.
Amen. And look, right before we were talking about, you know, our gifts, okay, and how our gifts, we can actually utilize our gifts to finally, well, use them to really walk into the fullness of our God-given destinies, okay? And a lot of us right now in our giftings can actually, you know, help us in the area of finances, okay? Can help us out personally in finances. It can help our family area of finances, help ministry in finance, whatever it is. I mean, finances aren't limited just to, you know, me, myself, and, you know, me, my four, and no more, that type deal, okay? So, you know, there's this really big stigma, especially within the church community, about, you know, having this, I'm just going to flat out say fear of actually trying to use their gifting to actually bring about increase or whatever in their life, when God actually put it in our lives, in our beings, for that particular reason. And it's not just for the financial sense, but we've been talking about our gifting actually benefits others and helps people along their pathway as well.
Right. Well, and also, you know, God gives us these gifts and talents so that we can not take care of ourselves, but take care of ourselves. It's our way of provision for our family.
Oh, absolutely.
So there really isn't a reason we should not utilize our gifts and talents, or be afraid to, or to be able to prosper, because God put them there so that we could.
Exactly. And you have some people, like I said, I've talked to, I don't even have enough fingers and toes for that, but I have so many people that have so many different giftings. And, you know, before we get off of this topic, I just want to give you a little example. A woman shared like a story, okay? She had like, I don't know what type of it, but I know it was a stage 4 cancer. That's pretty much all I know, because there's so many different types. But she had like a stage 4 cancer. And, you know, when you're dealing with something like that, especially in this country, I mean, it's really, really expensive. You may have insurance, but insurance only goes so far. And, you know, she had to come out of pocket for whatever special treatments and everything else that she had, okay? So, ended up being what she shared her story, and I think it was along the lines of, additionally, she spent somewhere in the realm of almost up to $50,000 extra. Now, she was healed, she got over it, she did the steps, she went through the process, but the last thing of what they couldn't do, you know, of course, God stepped in and he showed himself mighty. So, what ended up happening, she wanted to share her story, and then the individual that was the mentor to me actually said, well, you need to actually share your story and in charge for sharing your story. And she was like, well, what do you mean? And she was like, well, look, you need to charge and put how you went through treatments and what people need to expect, the steps, the downfalls, the techniques that happen, you know, how they lean and depend on God. Put it all in like a tutorial step-by-step process, because a lot of people that go through bouts with cancer, I mean, the first thing that happened, they get into it with this big overwhelming sense of fear, because they have no idea of what to expect from it, okay? So what ended up happening is that this woman actually put a tutorial course together about her experience through it, and she used, you know, her gifting, which she didn't realize was a gifting, of actually being able to teach. And she put it in, like, some people that you see can flow and teach, just like our pastor that have that teaching anointing, he just flows and teaching anointing, okay? To where, you know, she had that as well, and in utilizing that, she's been able to actually help people that possibly are in cancer to actually know what they're going through, so they don't get in these bouts of depression and all of these different things that happen. and God's allowing her to make an income off of that. You might say, well, wow, that's kind of harsh. Well, the same person that was mentor to me actually told her, well, how much does a person actually, after insurance, have to spend out of pocket going through all of that? And like I told you, she came out of pocket with upwards of close to like $50,000 over X amount of years. And she was like, well, do you feel that someone, and I'm just going to throw a number out there, if they gave you like $1,000 to go through a course that would be over like 6 months, do you think they'd be more invested to actually go through and put forth $1,000 or $50,000 over the course of the treatment? And it was kind of like a no-brainer, but it's different things that God puts in front of you. I mean, even an individual that did the whole like that GoPro camera or whatever that athletes use to record different things, and some people at the ministry have those things. Well, what ended up happening, a lot of people don't realize, he was actually in like the technology aspect of business. He started a business. He was like in a gaming business. He failed that. He started another business to where people would actually make money off of purchases. He failed that. Then all of a sudden he said, you know something, I'm just going to disconnect. I'm going to get away. And he literally left. I believe that he went to, I think it was Australia or something like that. Maybe it was Hawaii. But he actually left, and he went over there and he said, I'm getting away from a year, because he was just so depressed and everything that happened. But then all of a sudden he gets out there and he's surfing, right? And he has this little camera, and he's actually video recording himself on this surfboard. Well, what ended up happening is that other surfers started actually seeing him record himself, and so they wanted to actually say, hey, could you record us? Well, instantly he saw something like that as being a gift or a blessing or something that he could utilize. And long story short, billionaire, you've got GoPro cameras. Well, you don't know how your giftings will actually, just show up in you. You don't know exactly how, pretty much, and how God will actually let you see exactly something that you thought was dormant, something that you thought was insignificant, will actually just, it'll just like catch on fire, all right? But it all depends sometimes on the right people in your life. It could be a circumstance that just really says, tells you you've got to go ahead and get this done. But whatever it is, it can be something that can really show you how to capitalize on the gifting that's on the inside of you. And another thing, our gift will actually leave a lasting impression upon people, okay? Will actually leave a lasting impression upon people. I mean, how many people out there nowadays, okay, whatever their giftings are, you can start naming, think about people that have impacted your life. Think about people right now that have impacted your life, okay? Think about the different backgrounds, the different areas of expertise that they may have had, okay, and how they have impacted your life in those areas. And I can guarantee you, whether they realize it or those people that actually helped you or really touched your life didn't realize it, they were flowing in their gifting, and that gifting actually sparked something on the inside of you. Some of you right now are doing the exact same thing. You are instilling and sowing in individuals' lives with your gifting, and you may not think it's your gifting just because, why? It's just, like I said, it's something I just do every day. It's something that you just flow into. It's just something that you seem to have the least amount of effort, when it comes to it. But whatever it is, let your gifting make a lasting impression upon people. And, your gifting will actually lead you to faster growth and development along where God is calling you. Look, we're talking about the process. We always talk about the process. We're going to keep talking about the process. We keep talking about you being that positive agent of change, okay? But then in really flowing in your gifting, it's like, okay, this is what I'm talking about now. You heard me say that when I finally got off of trying to work my plan, which had been like more than 2 decades, okay, and finally got on God's plan, it actually started showing me what my gifting was. And I told you before we actually got into television, before we got into radio, I got with, mentor or whatever of mine, the lady that's like, multi-millionaire, and, I was expecting her to give me like big insights and tidbits like she had been giving so many of the others that are like her pupils and whatnot. And then the only thing she told me, like I said, she just, Court, be yourself. She's like, all you need to do is just be yourself. And then God had to show me that every high point in my life, every door that's opened in my life, everything that he's bringing in my life flows into what? Me just being myself. Why? Because being myself is like an umbrella, as you'd want to say, for all the different giftings that he has in my life. Now, yes, you can have more than one gift, okay? But even though you may have more than one gift, all of those gifts are going to work in unison in your life, okay? It's not going to cause you to have a high point or a low point, like you're going through some like EKG going up and down or whatever in your life with your gifting, okay? Your gifting is going to complement every single thing that God is calling you to do, whether you realize that or not, okay?
Everything.
It's going to mirror those things.
Mirror those things.
Y'all hear that one flesh unison going on? I tell you what, that's gifting in its finest right there.
No, that's just me just sitting down and listening.
But she hasn't had enough coffee, so that's what we're going to use on that one.
Only halfway through my coffee for
See,
this morning.
That's what I'm talking about. This is halfway
Halfway there, I'm
Wednesday,
halfway through
and
my
she's
coffee.
halfway through her coffee. See the semblance? See the gifting that's happened right here?
Look at that.
God will make manifest different ways to just go ahead and confirm a thing. And look how he's confirming this word for you today.
Okay, so what were you talking about now?
I rebuke that spirit of David off of you right now. And yeah, I know they driving into the studio for they follow it up and he giving him, and he's probably up there. Look, he done switched over to his alter ego personality and stuff like that. But I'm gonna get him though. I'm gonna get him. But look, just definitely look. Your gifting will actually allow you to, like I said, you'll get faster growth in your life. You'll develop more in your life, and you'll be more open to what God has in store for you.
Very true.
And I mean, it's really, if we're just going to be real honest about it, we're not where we want to be right now in our lives. Why? Because of what? We've made the choice not to be, and we haven't been utilizing the gifting that's in our lives. And look, when we come back, before we wrap up on this last portion and break, look, I just want you to make sure that you take everything that's been said and stay in your moment. Welcome back to In the Moment with Kortia Kuzan. Again, on this Halfway There Wednesday, and we've been talking about all you utilizing your most valuable resource, which is what? Your gift. And, we're talking about how, our gifting can actually help us increase in a financial sense, to help us to leave a lasting impression on people, and it will definitely lead you to faster growth and development in your life, okay? So what? Now, I really want to, on this last portion of the show, to just let you know that, look, our gift actually is a way to show appreciation. And you might say, a gift is a way to actually show appreciation. I mean, what do you actually mean by this? I mean, when you actually are using the gifting that God has on the inside of you, okay, it's basically you're telling God, okay, I value what you've put in me. Okay, I really, really value what you get put in me, but I know that even though you've placed it in me, it's not where it should be fully. It's just like that mustard seed of faith, okay?
Attitude of gratitude.
Attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. It is still our responsibility to increase, that gifting so they can actually keep producing and actually growing more. And, one of the greatest things about your gift is that when you are actually helping other people to recognize and unlock their gifts. And the best visual that I can actually give you of that is, okay, parents out there, people out there, you yourself, okay, Christmas time, when a child goes on Christmas Day and they open that present, okay, and then, of course, if you're anything like my wife when they were growing up, they're going to shake the presents and like, hey, what do you get? This must be the underwear box or something.
3 weeks ahead of time.
She said 3 weeks ahead of time. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so my mom loved Christmas. And so a month ahead of time, the tree would be up and she would already be putting presents underneath there. Because she would go to the store and she would get, and it wouldn't have to be little things. She'd wrap up things, the little boxes of Lifesavers.
Yeah,
the little Christmas,
I remember those, yeah.
My mom would get those. She would get large candy canes, just anything to wrap up and put under the tree. So you always knew, okay, that's the candy cane stick. Okay, that's the box of Lifesavers. Yep, I hear it. Okay. And then you just shake each present from one to the other, and you would know, nope, these are closed. Nope, oh, this one's rattling.
Look, and then it actually comes and brings up a really good point in how she said that sometimes you got to go through a little shaking to actually, see
That's
exactly
right.
and utilize and know what your gift actually is.
That's right.
And, a lot of people, when we go through these ups and downs, we see these trials and we call them tribulations. And because of our outlook and our perspective and everything on it, we want it first and foremost. Oh Lord, why? Why am I going through this? And you never get to the point of ask God the question, okay, what am I supposed to be gaining?
What am I learning from
What am I learning? What are you teaching me? What am I not seeing? How am I supposed to utilize what's in me to actually, capitalize on this particular moment?
And then you jump to, when's it going to be over?
Look, oh yeah, we all say that. We all say that. And that's when we want to go, how long, Lord? How long?
Oh no.
But look, showing appreciation to, like I said, the giver, of being showing appreciation to God for the gift that's on the inside of us. And then we actually use our gifting to what? Open more doors, open up, even more windows, open up more avenues for different individuals. Because like we keep saying, I'm not just telling you that listen, each and every day about, and teaching one and reaching one. It's the same thing for us. The exact same thing for us. I mean, literally, you have to take, or should I say, be active and looking for opportunities to actually use your gifting. And, until the individual, like that's a mentor over me, told me, and then God gave me the revelation about that and how she said, Court, just be yourself. I didn't realize that in where I really flow the most, I'm being myself.
Did she really not know what your real self was?
Oh, look, I tell you what. It's like, look.
Sometimes, some days I wonder if that was the wrong advice.
Look, even how the Lord has worked through, the On Point Talk family, and how with David and Carlette, I think I must hear from David must be at least once a week. Man, I didn't even know that about you. I didn't even know that could come out of you or something like that. Look, there's a lot that's stored up on the inside just waiting to erupt. But look, God has definitely been able to show me how to be able to utilize that, because there are many different facets how you can actually use your gift. It's not a one type approach in your gifting, okay?
Right.
And, it's not the way, it's almost like when you go to work, okay? When you get up every morning, you might take the same route each and every day, okay? But in your gifting, you may start out using it in the same fashion every single day. But then all of a sudden, because of this course and this process to where God is taking you, that he will actually show you how to capitalize it, to branch out new avenues, do a little course correction to where, someone, to where, you may go to someone and they may be the checkpoint in showing you how to go, or should I say, utilize your gifting even more.
When you say checkpoint, you're talking about a confirmation to your gift?
Yeah, I would definitely say.
Okay.
Definitely say. And it's
well, you keep saying checkpoint, so I thought we just clear, just make sure that was, everyone understands what you mean. But I know what you mean by that. Mm-hmm. But just make sure everyone else does.
And the thing what I've realized as far as in checkpoints, like I've had the opportunity to speak to people at church, in stores, wherever, okay? And God's told them something about a gifting in them. Mm-hmm. And God can use me, you, or whoever to go ahead and tell them something else. But then before they can say, yeah, God told me that, but did you ever think about this?
You do that all the time.
Oh, I do that all the time.
That is definitely one of your gifts.
That is my thing. If when I see you flowing in your gifting and you haven't really realized that you're in a gift, and immediately God's going to touch me on the shoulder, ask them if they considered this. Because why? It's all about
expanding their vision.
Yeah, expanding their vision, getting you out of this box that you may be placing yourself in. And my wife can actually tell you. I mean, my thought capacity, if you tell me it's an A or B type situation, I'm immediately going to look at you. And she knows that a lot of times.
I stay with A.5.
And she knows that a lot of times and I do it to her sometimes. She can tell me something, either this or that, and I'll just tell her, say it to me one more time. And it's not that I don't understand what she's saying, but I'm listening to what she's saying, but I'm hearing something else on the inside of that, okay? And it brings
He's reading between the lines.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the best way to put that. That's the best way to put that.
See, I'm a simple person.
Yeah, see? Look, you didn't know she was direct when she wants to be.
Oh, I'm very direct. Very direct.
And here it is, the husband minute out there for all of you. When your wives are being direct, just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. But
it's better not to comment.
Oh, yeah. But even in that is a gifting in itself right there. So, But look, in wrapping up, being serious about
Wrap
this,
it up,
and definitely in your gifting, okay? You definitely have to know that your gifting is going to unlock so many different abilities. And you've got talents, you've got gifts, you've got strengths, all right? Basically, it's like a diamond. And what you haven't realized is this. The talents that you have are actually an investment from who? From God, all right? And if you actually don't capitalize on your talents, look, you don't have any excuse as far as like why you won't grow. But look, don't lose these opportunities that you are now becoming aware of, all right? Don't lose or really don't put to work the gifting that's on the inside of you, okay? Because look, it's just like an automobile. If you fail to start that automobile each and every day, eventually something's going to happen with the engine, even though you're not utilizing it. So look, don't get to the point you're not utilizing the gift, but look, don't allow fear to hinder you as well. Take this as you stay in your moment. Take it as you go to your next day. And we get back on Thriving Thursday, I'm going to really really appreciate how God is using this on today to catapult you in your moment. Take care and God bless.